lowball him. Don't call me till you have it.
Did Dwight Schrute make a good decision in purchasing the Scranton Business Park located at 1725 Slough Avenue in Scranton, Pennsylvania?
We are going to calculate the return on investment and decide if Dwight made a good decision in purchasing this business park. Did he pay $500,000? Did he pay $5 million? I'm trying to kind of gauge that and see where we're going to settle.
So I think the first step then is, let's go figure out what is a price per square foot that Scranton, Pennsylvania was getting back in 2010. Basically, it's in the $85 range for 2020, and 2021, it's in the $100 per square foot range. It's reasonable. Somebody told me he paid $65 a square foot for this property. Next question is, how many square feet are in this building at the Scranton Business Park?
So it's actually a building that's like...
in LA, right?
Correct.
Okay. That's the building?
That's the building.
40,000 square feet.
3,000 square feet. Yep.
If you watch The Office, you notice there's a warehouse section, which is going to go for a lot cheaper lease than the office port section. So if it's 40,000 square feet, and what do we determine? 2 levels?
3 levels.
There's 3 levels in the property?
Levels, yeah.
Okay, so that's 13,300 square feet each level. If the warehouse is half of the lower level, that's about 6,500 square feet.
Yeah.
So back in 2010, based on a 40,000 square foot building, we estimate that Dwight would have paid about $2.4 million, about $60 a square foot, when factoring in a combination of about 33,000 square feet of office and about 6,500 square feet of warehouse space.
So the question becomes, how could Dwight have afforded this property?
What do you think Dwight was making as a salesman at Dunder Mifflin?
So there was a scene where he said that he owned a bed and breakfast and he would become this great salesman and he would make $80,000 a year, and he was very emphatic about making $80,000 a year. So my guess is probably 65. Oh, remember, he had the beet farm also. In season 7, episode 10, Pam alludes to the fact that Dwight may have leveraged his 60-acre beet farm to pay for this property.
The bank takes the building, takes your farm, takes your car, and beats the crap out of you. Penniless, you die.
So at the time, Dwight's 60-acre farm only grew beets. And later, in the office seasons, he inherited an additional 1,600 acres from his Aunt Shirley.
So what is that 60-acre beet farm worth? Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think that was enough collateral to put down, because when I did a Google search for farms in Pennsylvania, I'm looking at a 60-acre farm with a property on there worth between $500,000 and $1 million on the high side. So for him to come up with $1 million down payment, he had to have saved a lot of money on his own, in addition to using the beet farm as collateral for the down payment. We assume that Dwight got $12.50 per square foot per year from the 5 families located in the office building, and based on 40,000 square feet, that leads to $42,000 per month in potential revenue.
So Dwight had a lot of failed revenue sources, from the cockroach drop down on the side of the building to the daycare, Dwight's Gym for Muscles that he tried. He tried to sell subscriptions to it. He had Dwight's caffeine corner.
$1.50 per square foot per year in other income. So they had 40,000 square feet times $1.50, $60,000 a year. That's it. And all indications are that he probably covered a lot of the expenses of the building. We estimate that Dwight was spending about $6.50 per square foot per year in expenses, which is about $260,000. But in all likelihood, based on how cheap we found Dwight to be, from the point of splitting 2-ply toilet paper in half, that he probably spent a lot less.
Even though the building was often damaged by things like the fire drill that Dwight went through, he had passcodes on the doors, and if you tried to break into them or something, you would get steamed. Okay. Pest control, because Jim says that there's raccoons in the ceiling. Elevator costs when Kevin and Pam play the prank on him and break the elevator. Dwight Packer pooping on the carpet in Michael's office. We assume that those expenses were passed on to Dwight's tenants.
Okay, guys, so the question is, how much did he put down? So based on how risk-averse Dwight was, we're assuming a 40% down payment on the $2.4 million, which would be $960,000 in down payment, leading to an $11,000 payment per month to the bank. Guys, let's see what his return on investment is. This is incredible. 18.94%. Dwight, according to my calculations, is quite a shrewd investor. This is incredible. 19% return. Where are you gonna get 19% return from? When he sells the property age of 75, he's gonna get 7.6 million with the cash flow from that year plus selling the building that was already paid off. But look in retirement. He's 40 when he bought it. At the age of 65, when he buys the building, when he retires, that's 25 years later, he's gonna make $500,000 a year just off of that. We think Dwight made an incredible deal, making almost 19% over the 35 years of our analysis. And obviously, Dwight ends up being a multi-millionaire in retirement. So not only did Dwight do an amazing real estate deal, but he's probably arguably one of the best characters ever on a sitcom. Would you not agree, Mo?
100% agree.
100% agree.